Welcome to Don't Mind Me, I'm Different, the podcast where I kick down the barriers and myths surrounding ADHD in the workplace. Whether it's navigating the office chaos, trying to break this stigma, or learning what is this thing called ADHD, I'm here step by step to advocate, educate, and empower you in any way that I can. Get ready to own your difference and shine on the job. Just a quick disclaimer before we get started. I am not a professional. I am just a guy sharing his experience with ADHD. And if you do need help, please reach out to a professional, because there are many out there that can really make a huge impact in changing your life. Yeah, welcome back. This is episode number 11, and I'm excited because the statistics actually say that 20% of podcasters don't make it past episode 10. So for me, that's an accomplishment. Like I said, we got to celebrate the little wins here, and this is actually a pretty big victory. So in this episode, I'm going to be talking about breaks. And, obviously not breaks from podcasts, but, breaks in your work, not only at your job, but in your personal life and in your pursuits, and how those can increase productivity, reduce fatigue, improve mental health and well-being, positive impacts on learning, retention, and many other things. So stay tuned to the end, because I got a special challenge for you. So enjoy the episode. Hey, welcome back. And in this episode, we're going to be talking about the significant impact of breaks on productivity and mental health. I know it's an interesting topic, and particularly in today's breakneck hustle culture, where it pushes people to work harder, and taking a break can feel like a guilty indulgence, or even like you may fall behind on work, and that it's just you'll look lazy. Like at work, or say you feel anxious, you need to take a break.
No, I'd rather not. I'd like to work through it.
Okay.
I'd like to stay busy, keep my mind busy.
So
I'll have too much time to sit there and just think about it and let it keep going and going and going. So it's part of the staying focused thing, I guess. If I stay busy, it's like keeping my mind focused.
Yeah.
So that helps.
I'm definitely was in that camp as well. For the longest time, I would either not take breaks or take late breaks, or, because I got to get stuff done, and taking that break isn't going to help me get stuff done. It wasn't until I started implementing the things in my life that I was, teaching and saying that this is what you need to do. Did I not start to see the benefits of that? It wasn't until I started reading this book, and I mentioned this, the Hidden Potential by Adam Grant. That is an excellent book. I highly recommend anyone picking that up. It's inspirational. It's something that I still key off of and take parts out of. And, one of the things that he did talk about, which I'll talk about later in the podcast, is how, the 3 benefits of taking a break. And I was like, that had really got me to think in a different way and start to implement breaks in my life. So, studies generally show that when warehouse employees take more frequent, shorter breaks, production statistics can actually improve. Companies like Google, Deloitte, Etsy and Buffer are well known for actively promoting and valuing the benefits of employees taking frequent breaks at work, often incorporating features like nap pods, wellness rooms, flexible work hours, and designated break spaces to encourage this practice and maintain employees' productivity and well-being. Imagine that, like getting paid by certain companies to actually take a nap. The Energy Project in particular, which implemented a 90-minute break policy, which have reported a 13% increase in productivity and a 23% boost in employee engagement. Like, most companies are looking for like a 1 to 2% increase over the year. So like having a 13% increase is huge. So I hope anybody that's listening, like on the employer side, like, this is for both. This is going to help both parties out. And I am going to list off the benefits of doing that. So hopefully I'm speaking both of your languages, because this is about, being able to have the knowledge, but also being empowered to talk about it, or implement it in your workspace and being able to do it effectively. So the first one is increased productivity. This is from the National Institute of Occupational Safety and Health. So the data suggests that studies have found that taking short, frequent breaks helps to maintain focus and productivity over time, preventing burnout or exhaustion that can occur from long periods of sustained work. So the idea of taking a break every 90 minutes is grounded in what's known as ultradian rhythms. During these cycles, our brains go through peaks of high focus followed by dips in alertness. When we work for prolonged periods without a break, we push through these natural energy lows, resulting in mental fatigue and a decline in productivity. According to sleep researchers Nathaniel Kleitman and William Dement, who first studied these rhythms, working past the 90-minute mark leads to diminishing returns in terms of cognitive performance and mental clarity. A famous study from Florida State University supports this. Researchers found that top performers, musicians, athletes, and writers tend to work in 90-minute sessions with breaks in between, achieving the highest levels of productivity and creativity. Even Professor K. Anders Eckerson, a researcher in the study, explains that regular breaks allow these high achievers to stay focused and avoid burnout. So incorporating breaks every 90 minutes aligns work with these natural cycles, allowing employees to return to task refreshed, focused, and ready to give their best. This approach isn't just a productivity booster. It's a sustainable way to work that prevents burnout and keeps energy high throughout the day. That's incredible. And the impact is regular breaks, even just 5 to 10 minutes every hour or so, can help warehouse workers stay attentive and efficient, particularly in physical demanding roles. And it helps to, eliminate those mistakes that would have been made because they're, according to the ultradian rhythm, this their brains just not where our brains just not designed to work past a certain point. We're just not going to be effective. The next one is reduction in fatigue and injuries. And this is the research has been brought to you by Occupational Safety and Health Administration, OSHA. So the data suggests that warehouse workers often engage in repetitive or physically strenuous activities. Continuous work without breaks can lead to physical strain and fatigue, increasing the risk of injury, particularly musculoskeletal disorders or MSDs. Warehouse workers often lack ergonomically designed equipment, and workers engage in repetitive tasks that increase strain on the body. Breaks allow workers to stretch and relieve tension that can accumulate over time. So take advantage of micro breaks. Like if you don't have the time, to like you work for a company that doesn't necessarily, have a lot of breaks. There's ways to work around that, without, having to, necessarily have a formal break. So this is something that might help. So it's not always possible to take 15-minute breaks throughout the day. When this is the case, take advantage of micro breaks, which can be anywhere from several minutes to several seconds. Micro breaks still provide a powerful opportunity to mentally or physically relax and reset before jumping back into your tasks. No matter how many breaks are taken throughout the workday, a 20-second micro break can work wonders for increasing productivity. What you do during your micro break can vary depending on what position you're in for most of the day. But in most cases, a great use of the time is to momentarily reset your posture. If your job calls for repetitive motion, spending a few minutes or even seconds stretching or moving through a counter posture will help readjust your body. A quick mental and physical reset can make all the difference for avoiding injuries or costly mistakes. So 43% of those surveyed say that they get too busy and forget to eat, while 39% skip lunch to finish their work as quickly as possible. While common, even in tacitly encouraged, working through lunch in the name of productivity is very misguided. Neither party is going to be well served when business needs take precedence over the most basic human needs. A 2019 study by the National Institute of Health found that poor nutritional choices result in worse mental and physical well-being. So, you think you're going to get more done by eating lunch at your desk. That is absolutely doing a great disservice to both you and the idea that you're helping the company. So taking break also prevents burnout. Paid time off alone isn't enough to avoid employee burnout. Without a regular break policy in place, employees can head straight back into burnout territory when they return to work. Even though we all know how good it feels to kick back and take a break, only 1 in 3 employees say they often or always remember to stop for a break during work time. 56% of employees say they're simply too busy to take any breaks, and 60% say they feel guilty for taking breaks during work hours. These are all signs of an unhealthy workplace culture. In contrast, a healthy workplace environment promotes the importance of breaks. Workers feel supported and encouraged to take breaks, which also makes them feel valued and appreciated by their employers. Studies have shown that employees with better work-to-rest ratio also report higher engagement levels and job satisfaction, which means increased retention for your organization. So I can attest to both. Like with the burnout, I would dread coming into work. I would get exhausted after a long day, even though, I did a lot. And, but it was never really recognized, like, to the point that I felt like it should have been, so I kept, running on that hamster wheel and kept trying to do more, and ended up, almost losing my job because I'm trying to attain this imaginary ideal that no one was telling me to do, but I was pursuing it anyways. Like maybe it was like I wanted to look better than everybody else, or maybe I wanted to get a raise. I think during that point, there was a promotion up, and I wanted to get that promotion, because it would have gotten me on a different shift and more money, but at what cost? Like my mental health was suffering. I was stressed out, burnt out. Like no matter how long I had off, I would always dread coming into work and then convince myself that I enjoyed it. So like on the flip side though, like if somebody was like encouraging breaks and encouraging, you know, and explaining to me like, hey, this is going to help us if you take this break, and here's a great break room, or like here's some, like a good way to take a break. I would want, now I would like do everything in my power to convince that this company to hold on to me, because like I would want to work somewhere that was like that appreciated me that much that they were willing to like in a way sacrifice production to make sure that I'm okay. Like they're literally showing me that their employees come first, because without employees, the business doesn't run. Without somebody that consistently knows and comes in, there's always going to be inconsistencies in performance and productivity. So it just makes total sense, like how this one little change could increase overall productivity and mental health and well-being within a company. So the impact would be introducing frequent rest periods help reduce the risk of strain-related injuries and allow for muscle recovery, especially in jobs require heavy lifting or repetitive motion. And definitely wearing a back brace is something that I know has helped me tremendously. The third one is improved mental health and well-being. This is from the Journal of Occupational and Environmental Medicine. So the data suggests a study by the National Institute of Occupational Safety and Health and other workplace health research center have shown that taking breaks not only support physical recovery, but also reduces mental fatigue, stress, and anxiety, which are common in fast-paced warehouse environments. Taking frequent breaks allows the brain to reset and stay sharp, which is needed to maintain accuracy. When the brain is working constantly, it dulls, and the chances of missing something important greatly increases. That's why they say when you are having trouble figuring something out, the best thing you can do is take a break. This allows the brain to enter into its more creative thinking subconscious part. So basically, your brain, the problem doesn't go away in your brain. Your brain is like designed to solve problems, because this is helping you protect yourself. This is like a safety feature. So what happens is like when you're trying to think about a problem, it's in the left hand problem solving, logical part of the brain in your left hemisphere, when you stop thinking about the problem, actively thinking about the problem, it goes into, or start thinking about something else. It goes into the right hemisphere, which is the creative part of the brain. So that same problem is able to get looked at differently. That's why often, my best ideas come from when I'm taking a shower or when I'm outside taking a walk. Although it's difficult to let go of a problem, a lot of times I'm like, you know what? It's going to be a waste of time for me to continue thinking about this. Let me just walk away and come back to it later. So the impact is regular short breaks can enhance employees' mood and motivation, decreasing stress and promoting a better overall workplace environment. Workers return to their tasks feeling refreshed, which contributes to a sustained morale. And the final one is positive impact on employee retention. So this is from the Society of Human Resource Management. So the data suggests that employee retention rates are often higher in companies that provide supportive work environments, including adequate rest periods. Frequent breaks can contribute to a greater job satisfaction and lower turnover rates. And the impact is by incorporating frequent breaks, warehouse employers can reduce burnout and help retain experienced workers, decreasing the cost and time associated with hiring and training new employees. What's your perspective on breaks?
You mean taking breaks in between
Whenever, with schoolwork or at work?
Oh, I think it's super important.
Oh yeah, we definitely need it.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the times I feel like keep moving, and then from childhood you learned a lot of don'ts.
Yeah.
Don't do that. Don't feel that. Don't. And I used to tell them first. I said, delete all the don'ts you heard all your life.
Yeah. Don't stop working.
Yeah.
Because you won't be as productive.
I said nobody lives here except you.
I do love taking breaks, to be honest. It's not like I have a problem with where I can't go on without taking a break, but I do love taking breaks sometimes from work. I don't know, 20 minutes work, 5 minutes of break, or whatever.
So, whether you're working from home or learning something new on a personal level, breaks are super important. For instance, when you're trying to learn something new, the impact of breaks cannot be underestimated. I actually learned about this in Hidden Potential by Adam Grant, as I mentioned before. And there are 3 essential benefits to breaks. First, it helps sustain your harmonious passion. And he describes harmonious passion as a deep and intrinsic connection to an activity that aligns with one's identity and values. Basically, taking joy in the process of whatever subject that you are learning. Even 5 to 10 minutes can help reduce fatigue. The next one is key because it unlocks fresh ideas. When you let your brain rest, it doesn't stop thinking about the problem. It just moves it to a different part of the brain, the more creative side. That's why when you're taking, as I said, when you're taking a shower or brushing your teeth, you may suddenly get a brilliant idea. Eureka. And the most amazing benefit of breaks are it deepens your learning. It actually improves your retention and recall by up to 30%. That's freaking huge. Just think of breaks as refueling your brain's gas tank. because you're never going to get where you want to go on fumes, right? So I'm going to read a little, couple quotes from the book, just to kind of emphasize the impact of that. It's why Beethoven, Tchaikovsky, and Mahler all regularly took walks nearly as long as their work days. So obsession leads us to see rest as taking a foot off the gas pedal. We don't stop until we pushed ourselves to the edge of exhaustion. It's a price to pay for excellence. Under harmonious passion, it's easier to recognize that rest is simply is a supply of fuel. We take regular reprieves to maintain energy and avoid burnout. Relaxing is not a waste of time. It's an investment in well-being. Breaks are not a distraction. They're a chance to rest attention and incubate ideas. Play is not a frivolous activity. It's a source of joy and a path to mastery. So that's one thing. Like, we often don't know when we should take breaks. So when we should take a break is so much different when we actually take a break. So the thing that really has helped me in this in getting better breaks is the Pomodoro technique. And I actually have this little Pomodoro timer, and you just turn it on, and it's got, it's called a rotating Pomodoro timer. You set it down. It's got 25 minutes, 10 minutes, 50 minutes, and 5 minutes. And you can just set it down. Because for me, I need to have a visual representation of the time. So I know, like, I can't have it hidden on my phone, or, that little thing, like, really has helped me to get better with acclimating breaks into my schedule. And you can get that on Amazon. I can include a link on my webpage on the notes.
Like a small recovery, fresh from work, makes your brain go faster. It doesn't make you so tired over time. It just helps you to not get tired so much of your work and all of complexity of it.
Cool.
Lets you separate it into more of a smaller section. So
what do you feel like is the value of it?
It gives you a second just to, like, I think, ground yourself in something that's not whatever you're working on, either if it's just so you can come back with, like, a fresh perspective and more focus and attention. Or just I don't know, like, you get bored easily sometimes, and, like, your mind starts wandering, so stimulate yourself with something else for a little while, and then come back.
And then, like, the other value that it has is, like, it keeps you engaged in especially if you're doing something that you love, even, and you're just grinding it out, it just takes all the love out of it.
Oh, I agree.
We get a lot more value, and we're a lot better focused when we do take, like, maybe a 5-minute break every hour or so.
Really?
Yeah, maybe try it out.
Yeah, maybe I should. I mean, I don't know. I've never really tried anything different. It's just pretty much just the regular life cycle when I wake up and just go through it. So maybe I will try it out.
You experience, like, a little bit of burnout here and there, right?
Oh yeah, often.
Yeah.
I'm a single parent and I work 6 days a week.
Wow.
So
that's huge. And you're doing that with ADHD? That's
yeah, I mean,
awesome.
I've never really been diagnosed with ADHD, but I know I have it. I'm a hyper guy, and like I said, my mind goes all over the place. It'll be focused on one thing, then I'll go to another, and another. So I know I got it.
Random podcast on the street.
So hopefully that covers the importance of why we need to take more breaks. This last part is how to make the most of those breaks during your work hours. As soon as break time hits, workers often rush to the vending machine and coffee pot. Their goal is to consume as much sugar and caffeine as possible before the end of their break for an energy boost. However, as most of us can attest, this won't prevent fatigue before the next scheduled break, and it will most likely result in a brief energy spike followed by an even bigger crash, with a series of negative consequences when this behavior becomes consistent. Breaks increase productivity, but not when they're spent like this. Rushing to the vending machine is not always the best choice. Employers who want to maximize the effectiveness of breaks during working hours should consider encouraging their workforce to spend their free time on the job as a little bit differently. The break room environment should be set up to be conducive of giving employees the needed chance to relax and rejuvenate in the right environment. Here are some ideas to consider. So, creating a meditation room. If there is space, creating a quiet place for employees to spend a few minutes relaxing and clearing their thoughts will have a dramatic effect on productivity. You can also replace junk food with healthy snacks. In the vending machine, some corporations have entered into agreements with local businesses to keep break rooms and vending machines stocked with nutritious snacks. Healthy foods store energy without the fatigue and irritability that are common side effects of sugar and caffeine. And finally, they organize afternoon exercise breaks. The afternoon or half to 2/3 through a shift is when workplace fatigue typically sets in the hardest. Exercise breaks bring a whole host of benefits for your team, and increased productivity is one of them. So this is why Forbes pays their employees to take exercise breaks. That's incredible. It can include everything from stretching exercise to jumping jacks to letting employees mingle and laugh together. There's one thing that I'm doing actually at my job, and I've decided to step up and lead the health and wellness committee at my job. And, this is one of the first things that I wanted to start the conversation on implementing and getting a game plan put together, with the group, that what will work best for this particular company, and that could look different for yours, but this is something that I'm actually doing something about, and not just talking about these things, which is something that hopefully I can show you some results on that and keep you updated. And there's also different types of breaks that you can consider. The first one is stretching or light exercise. It's healthy because sitting for long periods can cause muscle stiffness and poor circulation. Stretching or doing a few simple exercises like squats or shoulder rolls can improve blood flow and reduce muscle tension. Some examples could be desk yoga, walking lunges, calf raises, or stretching your arms, back, and neck. The next one is short walks. Why it's healthy. Walking, even for just 5 to 10 minutes, can refresh your mind and body. It boosts circulation, reduces mental fatigue, and can improve focus when you return to work. There's a tip: step outside if possible for fresh air, or walk around the office or home to change your environment. I can't understate the importance of going for a walk. At least for me, it just really helps to clear my mind. and get it, especially when I'm frustrated. The next one is mindfulness or meditation, why it's healthy. Taking a few minutes to meditate or practice deep breathing can reduce stress, improve focus, and calm your mind. How to do it: try deep breathing exercises like a 5-minute guided meditation, or simply sit quietly and focus on your breath or an object to clear your mind. I am a huge advocate of this. This has helped me tremendously, especially when I'm emotionally overwhelmed, which we often can with ADHD. Something simple, like if we don't get our way, somebody speaks, in particular me, if somebody speaks to me in a particular tone or, talks down to me, as I've mentioned before, like that really kind of is one of my triggers. And, when I'm in the zone, like, and something happens unexpectedly to kind of break up what I thought in my mind would happen, that can really change my mood. And taking a break and resetting can really help, has really helped me. The next one is a hydration break. Why it's healthy: staying hydrated is crucial for maintaining energy levels and mental clarity. Take a break to drink water or a healthy beverage. Tip: keep a water bottle nearby and use breaks to refill it to stay hydrated throughout the day. I often am drinking water. I'm a huge advocate for drinking water for focus and clarity. It is another huge benefit. The thing that is an indicator for me that I'm drinking enough water is like I'm going to the bathroom at least an hour every, once every hour. And on my way back from the bathroom, I usually grab another bottle of water. So it's a great way to take a break naturally for that hour. Because it takes me about 5 minutes to do all that. The next one is a healthy snack break. Why it's healthy: a balanced snack can provide a boost of energy and prevent a mid-afternoon slump. Opt for nutrient-rich snacks like fruits, nuts, or yogurt. Tip: avoid sugary snacks that may lead to energy crashes later in the day. Definitely look at the label. I believe like Mountain Dew has like 60 or 90 grams of sugar. That's an insane amount. Especially in some energy drinks such as Red Bull actually don't have that much caffeine in it and have a whole lot of sugar. So the one thing that if you need caffeine, just kind of look at the nutritional facts on the bottle the next time to get an idea of like what you're actually getting. The next one is social connection. Why it's healthy: brief social interactions with colleagues or friends can reduce fatigues, feelings of isolation, boost your mood, and improve mental well-being. How to do it: have a quick chat with a coworker, call a friend, or connect with someone online to take your mind off work for a few moments. I cannot understate the value of being more connected at work, because it helps bring joy into coming into your job, because you're like, well, I get to see Debbie or I get to see John, and I know we have great conversations. I want to know what's going on with him and his kids, or where he's at with the thing that he was struggling with, or I'll tell him or her like where I'm at with the thing that I'm bothered with or working on. So that's a great way to connect and create that urge and want to come to work. So the next one is eye rest. And this is more for people that are working on a computer all day. So it's called the 20-20-20 rule. Why it's healthy, staring at screens for long periods can cause eye strain. The 20-20-20 rule suggests that every 20 minutes you should look at something 20 feet away for at least 20 seconds. The tip is to use this time to gaze out of a window, focus on something different, or gently massage your eyes. The next one is a creative break. Why it's healthy, engaging in a creative activity can stimulate different parts of the brain and provide a mental break from routine tasks. Examples are doodling, journaling, doing a quick puzzle, or listening to a favorite song. The next one is a nature break. Why it's healthy, being in nature or even just viewing greenery has shown to reduce stress and improve concentration. Stepping outside or even spending time by a window with a view of nature can be refreshing. Tip: if you can't go outside, consider keeping a small plant on your desk or bring some nature indoors, or even asking your employer if they can get more plants or a section that has more plants in the building that, maybe in the break room, hey, I think it would look better in here if we actually had, some plants or flowers and stuff like that. And that could be another activity, that you could get involved with socially. Next one is posture check. Why it's healthy. Poor posture can lead to back and neck pain over time. Taking a break to check and adjust your posture helps reduce discomfort and promotes better long-term ergonomics. Tip is to ensure your chair and desk setup support good posture, and take a moment to sit up straight and align your body properly. This is important, especially having good posture and having your shoulders back and your back at a curve straight is definitely something that I work on because it definitely promotes better health and self-confidence. Power nap. Why it's healthy is a short 10-minute nap can recharge your brain and improve cognitive function for the rest of the day without leaving you groggy. Tip: set an alarm so you don't sleep too long and wake up feeling refreshed. Like we mentioned before, if you feel like you can take a nap, they do wonders. So just, give you just a little bit of mental clarity and a boost. I used to take power naps when I stopped taking caffeine, and now I rarely get tired throughout the day. It's incredible. And that's for a whole nother episode though. And the final one is change of scenery. Why it's healthy. Stepping away from your usual workplace, even just for a few minutes, can reset your focus. It helps break the monotony and can provide a mental refresh. Tip is try working in a different part of your home or office after the break, like standing at a different desk or moving to a cozy corner. And these things, you can ask your boss about, and see what's doable, and it's not going to change overnight, but it's about having these conversations and understanding, I'm looking out for me, and the best version of me is going to be somebody that, takes the breaks that I need so that I can be the best version of me for you, so you're not coming at them like this is the law or I need these breaks and there's no reason behind it. I typically try to speak the language that they want to hear, that this is going to benefit you and me. and the productivity. By eliminating mistakes, by eliminating turnover, and many other things. And here's my challenge to you, all those in the audience, that whoever comes up with the best idea for a break, or they know of an idea for a break, will get a chance to be a guest on my podcast to talk about whatever you're good at or you really want to talk about, as long as it's related to work or ADHD. You can send your submissions to my email, whether written or in voice format. I prefer, no longer than a 60-second voice message, and you send that to Ron Sowers at DADHDWSS.com. That's RONSOUERS at. And on that note, I'm going to go take a break and get myself a snack. DADHDWSS.com. And on that note, thank you for listening. As always, subscribe, and may the source be with you.